Grace considered herself lucky. She had a stable marriage with William, a handsome, successful man she'd met 5 years ago. And for that, she thanked fate and her best friend Riley. It was Riley who'd arranged their first date, always been there like a sister, supporting them and believing in their perfect union. Now, looking back, Grace saw only cracks in the mirror she'd stubbornly ignored. William's slight embarrassment when Riley touched his hand too casually. Their work-related activities that had become more frequent over the past 3 years. Finally, William's constant reluctance to talk about children or the future. He seemed frozen in the present, where everything was fine, but nothing was progressing. Riley, however, became a comforting angel. "He's just tired, darling. All men are like that. Appreciate that he doesn't drink or hit you. You're pushing him too hard." Grace felt guilty and stupid. She struggled with the ghosts of jealousy, ashamed of herself. The denouement came on an ordinary Tuesday. William said he had urgent negotiations and would be staying until nightfall. He didn't even look her in the eye, and his voice lacked the regret he'd previously expressed when announcing delays. Now it was a statement of fact. Grace nodded. She believed it. Or rather, her brain, tired of constant internal censorship, chose to believe it. The doubts were too heavy to carry with her every day. The evening dragged on, viscous and silent. She tried to read, but the words in her favourite novel disintegrated into meaningless syllables. Grace put the book down and stared out the window, where the early autumn twilight swallowed the colours of the day. In this silence, her inner voice, which she had so diligently suppressed, began to whisper. Negotiations. Again. On Tuesday. She shook her head, pushing away the obsession. Paranoia. It was all coming from her. She picked up her phone to distract herself, scrolling through her social media feed. Smiling faces. Other people's perfect lives. And then, a vibration. Short, dry, like an electric shock. The phone lay on the nightstand and the screen flashed with a cold blue notification light. Grace froze. Strange. A message from Grace. They hadn't texted each other in 5 years. Only messengers with their stickers and voicemails. Text messages. Something from the distant past, from their youth, or for emergencies. Her heart, despite everything, did a heavy, awkward somersault in her chest, as if falling into emptiness. Intuition is a terrible force. She didn't scream, didn't call for help. She simply whispered quietly at the very bottom of her consciousness, frozen with anticipation. Her hand automatically reached for the phone. Her fingers, suddenly weak, unlocked the screen with difficulty. The green message icon held an abyss. Grace didn't open it right away. She stared at the sender's name, mesmerized. Riley. Not Rye, as it had been in the messenger, but simply the dry, formal Riley from her phone book. It was already a warning. It was a shot fired before the bullet reached its target. She clicked. The message was short, merciless, and downright vulgar. A photograph. Not explicit, but devastating. Her husband, William, sleeping naked under the covers in Riley's familiar bedroom. In the foreground, Riley's hand, with her signature dark manicure resting on his chest. And beneath the photo, 3 lines that burned everything away. For 3 years now, he's been choosing between the boring reality of being with you and the adrenaline of being with me. But today, like always, he chose me. I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Although no, I'm not sorry. Grace's world collapsed silently. Everything fell into place with chilling clarity. Had she introduced him to her just to take him back? Or was it a spontaneous betrayal that had turned into a painful game? It didn't matter. What mattered was something else. Her husband and her friend had been playing her for 3 years. And Riley, tired of waiting, had decided to finish her off in the most brutal way possible. Not for William's sake, but for the triumph of her own superiority, for a scene of devastation. William returned in the early morning, tired and satisfied. He started talking about tough negotiations, but Grace simply turned her phone screen toward him. The colour drained from his face. He began babbling excuses about it being a mistake, that Riley had made it all up, that he was confused. But for Grace, it no longer mattered. The betrayal was double, but the blow from her friend was more toxic and profound. Her husband had changed her as a woman. Her friend had changed her as a person, poisoning her faith in people, in friendship, in the very possibility of happiness. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She remained silent, and in that silence an entire life crumbled. Their love story, begun by Riley, was destroyed by her. All that was left was to pick up the pieces.